I keep shooting basically stuff from the Muni, like just put a camera and I get a lot of stuff from the street and I go through it at home. It just helps me build up characters with the people that I have in the casting, and I feel like some characters on the street are really similar. It's a little bit funny, but they're similar to the personalities I have in the studio on a certain level, in some way that I can see that. I don't feel like people would see it. There are some certain like anxiety and like or like anxiousness, I guess, and like a certain amount of like stress or fear in movement. You can see it really fast. You can see certain chest movements or like shoulders, or a lot of expression there is in like the upper body, I feel, of dancers, and I can kind of nail them down. I can feel like I know after a while what they're afraid of, or what they don't necessarily need to, you know, fall into the floor in rehearsal for me to understand that they will be afraid of going into the floor, you know. There's some stuff in upper body that shows me stuff, and it reminds me of movement I see in the street. People in the street move in certain ways. Everybody's human. Everybody moves the same way. Everybody's afraid. Everybody's anxious. So it's just when I see a high level of anxiety on the street, it just is more inspiring because I want to like go to that extreme place. I feel like it's also helping dancers to see how ridiculous it is sometimes to be afraid of falling to the floor and get all tense. So we're playing with that a lot, and we're trying to go tensely to the floor until we find like the softest way to go to the floor. We're playing with extremes. I guess that's all kind of inspired from the extremities I see in the street of these homeless people or not homeless people. They move very interestingly. They surprise me a lot also. They wait a lot. This piece, I think, has a lot to do with surprises. Yeah, it's gonna be a surprise. I'm not gonna tell you so much about it, but grabbing movement sometimes that is there around us already. Kind of like what I feel that the crazy people I'm talking about in the street, I feel like they feel this way. I feel like they just fit themselves into a crazy motion that's happening. I feel like they feel like the motion is happening and they just ride on it. They don't have this whole student preparation of a dancer, you know? When you take that moment and then you step into a movement, you just grab movement or motion that's happening around you. The city is always moving, you know? So, and their movement is actually an influence of, or it's a reaction to whatever's happening around them. I saw a person basically yelling out of nowhere. There was no moment that I could see. We would call it a reason, but I feel like I would never see the action that brought him to this reaction. Never. But I'm sure he felt something in the street. He felt an energy. He felt a certain tension. I'm sure it was also inside him. And he bursted, basically. And that's very interesting to me. I feel like anyway I move very similar to this. It's just now I have an excuse. I thought that I wanted to be, and I know it's really far, and I need to study a lot to do that. But I always wanted to, in my wildest dreams, I was an astronomist, or is that a word in English?
Yeah, an astronomer.
Astronomer? Mm-hmm. So an astronomer. I also thought about psychology because I feel like that's also motion right there. Yeah, so I guess I have big dreams. I am forming a group in Israel also. We are called Idan Sharabi and Dancers right now. It's a beginning, and I feel, I know it's the 6th season for Zhukov Dance Theatre, and I feel that this is, in the sense of how everything is organized, I feel it's established in that sense. I am not on the other side of the camera right now. I don't know what's going on, but I know what I feel. I know that the feeling I get, how welcome I feel right now here, and how things are basically being set up and worked on, and everything is really like clicking. And I feel this is a huge, I don't take this for granted because I'm trying to form a group in Israel, and it's really hard. It hasn't been 6 years for me, it's been like less than a year. But I feel like the choices of dancers and artists and people to work with, of Yuri, his choices are quite amazing, and the dancers of this group are super inspiring to me right now. They bring in a lot to this creation process. I feel like it's the full picture I'm getting from this feeling I'm getting from here. It's not only the dancers, it's like the whole experience. And it's just the beginning. No, it feels really homey. Like, it feels really good.